Hello, everybody. It is another WXR, and today we will be discussing what we want to see in the future of WWE video games. Joining me today is Marcus Shadow, Chriz, aka the Mole, Jim Phoenix, and myself, the stay-at-home dad gamer. So basically, we're going to break it down in a couple different categories. We're going to have a story/universe mode as one, and then creative, then online, then gameplay, then any miscellaneous stuff you want to throw in the game. So if anyone would like to take it away with what they want to see in a story or universe mode, feel free.
I'll go first, as I spoke to the others about this. I want universe mode to be the main mode because it seems the most interesting. However, I want it similar to No Mercy's never-ending story mode. I want it where they do some generic text-based, what do you call it? Some generic text-based promos and stuff. Like, let's say you're in a rivalry with Triple H v Daniel Bryan. You get Triple H come out for a promo, picks up the microphone, you get some text appear on the bottom telling you what Triple H is saying. They can be repeated or just generalized gist or whatever, just replace the wrestler, insert some catchphrases and stuff, and it never ends that way. Because the most interesting thing on WWE is watching the universe involve, seeing the storylines and stuff, which you don't get that in a predetermined road to WrestleMania because it's like a quick story that ends fast. Whereas if you did it with like this with universe mode, you get the never-ending, anything can happen, and more presented like TV. And you can even do some challenges and some special stories in there. Like around WrestleMania time, you could get a streak match appear on the thing where you have to either be Undertaker to keep his streak going or defeat his streak, and then you never get that match again. But you know what I mean? Just something like that. It'd just be so much more interesting.
I kind of agree
That
with
would
that
be pretty cool.
for universe mode. I think for the story mode, I think what they need to do is go back to the story modes of old where it's just random, awesomely ludicrous stuff that's just there for entertainment. And some of the storylines, were possible, but like, because my favorite storyline of all time in a WWE video game was Candice Michelle and her magic wand. That was a friggin' awesome storyline. They need to go back to that stuff. But as far as universe mode is concerned, yeah, I agree with the mole. They need to make it more immersive. They need to include like promos and stuff, and like having, even if it's just text, text boxes. I think just having that interaction goes a long way towards the immersiveness of the product.
Yep. They also need to fix how some of the stuff works with it. Like Money
Yeah.
in the Bank needs to be more random.
Yes.
Or how about if a superstar's injured, which they didn't fix this year either, and a superstar gets injured, I want to see a return promo for this guy so we know he comes back in a couple of weeks. Let's really hype this up. That'd just be something cool. Like, for example, in Universe mode this year, Daniel Bryan got injured in my Universe mode.
Mm-hmm.
He came
Nice.
back, and I didn't even realize he was back until he was just on a show. It was like, oh, he's back. Cool, I can now use him again. It would have been so much cooler if you'd seen like Daniel Bryan returns and just like a generic thing of Daniel Bryan like working out in a gym, or just some clips of him doing his finisher over and over again to different people. Just something. It doesn't have to be over the top, creatively deep. I just want
Mm-hmm.
it simple so it works. But seeing that, I mean, I'm sorry, if someone like Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Randy Orton, or someone like that gets injured, are you really telling me WWE would just say, nah, you shouldn't notice and I'll just appear on Raw one day in a random match against fucking like 3MB or something?
You know, now that you mentioned that, one thing I would really love with universe mode, I want to be able to do like an alignment turn or gimmick change promo. Because
Mm.
one thing I love to do is I'll make two versions of myself, a face version and a heel version. And I'd love to, like, say for instance, if I as a face I go to WrestleMania, I win the title. I'd love, like, maybe at the Monday after or like at the next pay-per-view, I'd love to build something up where I have an alignment turn promo where I turn heel and then it debuts my other character as heel, but because I do it via that storyline or that promo, it basically takes my momentum from my face character and applies it to the heel character, so I don't have to start from scratch with the heel version of my character, I think that'd be awesome. And
That-
like all the
that-
rivalries and stuff, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that could be cool. Something I've suggested in the past with that would be branching options
Mm-hmm.
as well. Like they had meant to have branching storylines last year. They meant to because hardly anyone got them.
I
But
got him.
yeah, but for example, let's say Marcus Shadow has just won the WWE title.
Mm-hmm.
He then goes on Raw. He appears because let's say Edge is one of the handful of legends because I don't want too many legends. But let's say Edge is one of the legends. Marcus appears on the cutting edge and he gets a branching storyline about okay, I'm gonna say, for example, yes, I may have beat Randy Orton last night, but it was a hard fought victory. I did my best and I did it for the fans. Or he could turn around and grab the thing, smack Edge in the face, and be like, "Who the fuck are you?" To try and question me if Edge asks him a difficult question. Or he could turn around and basically be, I don't know, being a complete dick about like, yeah, I beat Randy Orton in probably the most easiest matchup of my life, and I didn't do it for you fans. I did it for me. You know what I mean, Jim? Like similar to the Choose Your Own Adventure books and how branching storylines should work. You should be able to get some options for stuff like that as well, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
It would be. I really like to see that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or option number C, if you're playing as Rikishi, you can say you did it for The Rock,
Yep.
even if
I'd-
he's not in the game.
I'd also love introductory storylines and promos and stuff where, like, for instance, if I want to introduce myself, like for instance with your storyline, you should have a storyline option of being able to come out. You've won the title, you're a face, and then all of a sudden you pull your shirt off and you have an NWO T-shirt on underneath or something.
Yep.
That'd be
I,
kind of
I want
awesome.
I want introductory storylines as well, or just basically being able to do something similar. Like I mentioned, like I was going to mention a bit more in depth last time when we were doing the review for the Gaming Zone, but didn't. I resisted the urge. I want to be able to because I want to go more in depth of. I want to be able to choose the type of rivalry and feud this is. Like
Yes.
Brock Lesnar v Big Show. And one of the options is Battle of the Beasts. So all the cutscenes are gonna be like these two big, bulky, fucking super heavyweights just dueling it out in like you know what I mean, in like the monster battles. Or Kane v Sin Cara. You could do David v Goliath storyline, or
Yeah.
or James Phoenix v Marcus Shadow. You could do the best friends, better enemies style one, like the turning on your friend style one, or just something like that. So you could choose. It just makes it so much more interesting.
And it's
Then
like I said to you before, what they need to do is they need to jack the quote unquote rivalry system from TEW. I think that'd be perfect.
Yep, which that's why I was suggesting get rid of story mode and use universe mode and put all your effort into universe mode. For example, the quote hidden objectives in Attitude Era and this mode and stuff. You could get a couple of you could get a couple of optional objectives in universe mode. But okay, let's say I don't know you're playing as Marcus Shadow against John Cena. Let's say just because everyone knows who he is. We go against it's Marcus Shadow v John Cena. Or against, I don't know, a Jeff Hardy v CAW thing or whatever, but because Marcus is built as a submission specialist, he gets the optional thing of make him tap out. And if it's like a massive face like the Jeff Hardy, the John Cena, the Hulk Hogan or something, you get like a cutscene similar to the Bret Austin thing if they don't tap out. So it double turns Marcus and the person he's against if
Mhm.
he's chose to do it. But it warns him in brackets this will lead to a double team turn or something.
Right.
That'd be kind of cool.
Actually, you know what they should do? That for all these cutscenes and stuff, they should make every single one of them interactive, and then they should take a page out of BioWare's book and actually have a heel face meter, so that every action you take affects whether you're a face or a heel, and that affects your turning. I think that'd be awesome. So it's like you have a morality meter in the game. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd like that.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
Because, like, say for instance, if I don't know if John Cena v Randy Orton, let's say Orton's the heel, and they have a match, and you choose to interfere, and that you should be able to interfere in the middle of the match instead of choosing it at the beginning. You should be able to interfere whenever you want just by pressing a button. Let's say you choose to interfere. Depending on who you assault, the meter shifts.
Yeah, it's like that should also work like BioWare stuff. That should also work for tag teams and stuff like
Yeah.
that as well. Like, okay, you've been really friendly towards this guy. You're building up your stats. Okay, now you can be a tag team. Or okay, you've constantly helped this diva out. Now she's a romance option or something like that.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Yeah, make it more like a WWE RPG.
Yeah, you take Universe and take it to its logical conclusion, make it the main mode, and put all the story, all bits of stories into there, and all these RP elements. That was my idea anyway. But I noticed, I know James and Richter have been pretty quiet when we were discussing that, so I'll turn it over to them.
Well, I know for myself, I actually agree with Marcus that I like the Candice Michelle storyline. That was awesome, and I do like that they had a few like non-serious ones thrown in for story mode. So I actually appreciate that. I mean, you don't want everything like that, but having them thrown in. So if they had a way to put in a couple of goofy ones, even if you could turn them off, just randomly in universe, that'd be cool. And as much as I did like the story mode, I feel that they've gotten a lot lazier over the years. So pretty much once they decide to start putting in universe mode, and universe mode's okay. I don't like it as much as some of the other people, but given how their focus has shifted and how it's like split between the two, and how story mode isn't near as good, I'm gonna agree with Mole on this. Just make it all universe mode. Just take even if you just make up actual storylines, like throw them into the universe mode as a random option. That'd be awesome. If there's like you got into an involved one that like took a while, that'd be pretty cool. I would take that.
Could I suggest something?
Yes, sure.
Based on what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
and also based on Marcus's. How about a humor meter?
Yeah.
That you could fill up, like if you're constantly doing taunts or something like that, you're more of a comical character, or if in the extreme arena you're constantly using the cup.
Right.
You can build up some of a humorous thing, or you can turn it up manually if you choose to. So like characters like, which that's something else you need to do with the RP thing. You need to be able to turn it up so you can get characters how they are if you made a CAW, without having to build it from the get-go to make it realistic, but make it optional so you can do either. But a character like Santino, Santino's not going to get the same types of storylines as the Undertaker. So because like Undertaker's got the dark powers, he gets more dark side or mysterious type storylines, whereas Santino would get more humorous storylines.
Well, why don't they do this then? Kind of what I was talking to you about earlier, Mole, but taken to a different level. They make all these changes to universe mode. They make it more RPG. They make it branching. They make it more choose your own adventure RPG. Everything is dependent on where you go with the storylines, who you talk to. What if they take that and for the story mode, instead of making it universe mode, what if they make it a thing what I like to call career mode, where basically you choose one superstar at the beginning and that's who you take through a career. So it locks off being able to play as anyone else, aside from maybe your tag team partner if you get put into a tag team. But depending on the superstar you choose, you'll gain access to different stories. Like for instance, with Undertaker, if you choose Undertaker, you might get like a streak story where you're defending the streak. Whereas if you choose Santino, you might get something more along the lines of you're teaming with like Great Khali and Natalia or whatever, and it's more of a funny one, a humorous one. So, and because they would be moving away from the entirely voice acted stuff toward more of what we want, which is text based RPG style, so you have more freedom. They'd be able to actually put in all these different storylines, and it wouldn't take forever for them to put it in. It'd be, within the realm of realism to have different storylines for these different characters. Then you could also choose your ACAW to go through a career mode, and then they'd have storylines for that based on your interactions with the people and whatnot.
I could kind of agree with that. I'd rather it be like I mentioned, where it's tied to the person, so you can still do the rivalries and you can keep playing as just that person and see that entire storyline. But like TV, where you can have multiple storylines, because I'll admit, one of the things I do at Universe mode is I like to play as multiple people. Like I'll play as me, and I'll swap over and play with the divas while I'm playing with the divas, or I'll build up this guy and make him like the main face of the company or something. I
Well, no,
love doing that stuff.
you'd have universe mode for that. All I'm saying is with the career mode, it would allow the developers a little bit more control so they can actually make it like a cohesive story as opposed to universe where you're going to have like 5 6 different stories going on at the same time. It's like, no, focus on one story, that way you can have a well thought out cohesive story. Because one thing I did love about some of the previous stories that they've done, not out of JR mode or anything, but when they actually did original stories, is the fact that because you played as a specific character and you were locked off to that character, they were actually able to focus on a story revolving around that character, and some of them actually kind of made sense and were kind of cool. And I'd like to see that expanded into more of what we're talking about, more of a universe mode style. But by locking it off, it allows them to actually just do a cohesive, just story, 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 story. But where that story goes is dependent on the actions you take as that superstar.
And like I said, I could see where you're going with that. And I wasn't saying no to it. I was just saying what my version. I was saying do that same thing you said, but make it tied to the rivalry systems. Like the main rivalry is the big story or something, so it's like TV, so you get the multiple storylines, and they can still do like you mentioned with the more cohesive stories. Just make it tied to certain wrestlers. Like say Rey Mysterio, he has an extra rivalry one you can set where someone's trying to get his mask off him, and like the streak one for Undertaker and stuff, because you can still do it with text, and it's not necessarily dependent because it's text on a specific storyline. Because the reason the Road to WrestleManias and the other past storylines were the way they were is because they got the voice acting and stuff like that, and they wanted all these characters to be the ones because they were the ones they could get into the booth to record dialogue that day. If it's
Sure.
all text, you could get any, like Undertaker's streak mode. It could be anyone. You could get like a couple of different style ones. Like let's say Big Monster destroys him, Brock Lesnar, Big Show, Kane style, or
Hmm.
cocky heel, Randy Orton and stuff like that.
Right.
That's what I was saying. But I could see either one if that makes sense.
Hmm. How about Jam?
Yeah, I agree. I think one thing I think they did bring back is I want to see some of the controls that they used to have in the old GM mode. Because while they adapted a lot of that into Universe, one thing they didn't do was that like you used to be able to put promos in there and work all that out, have a lot more control over what was going on the show besides just the matches. And I think if they integrated a lot of those controls back into Universe, I think that would really help make it a more immersive experience. In addition, they could work in some of the other features. For example, they already have separately connected versions of the setting of your teams and your entrances and your whatnot there. They could integrate some story designer to let you story design promos within Universe mode.
That'd be kind of cool.
And you can maybe keep a couple of preset promos, and then it would just be a matter of filling in the right names and just making a few changes, and you could then play your storyline promos over the course of your show, so you can have actual storylines going on. I mean, that way people like Mole that like going through and doing up all the storyline stuff could do that, whereas people like me that think it's kind of a pain in the ass don't have to necessarily do that. They can just have the matches and the generic promos because they know what's going on.
Or download other people's.
Or download other people's, that too.
You know, one storyline I'd love them to actually be able to do with the universe mode.
What's that?
I want brand wars.
Yeah.
So we can have like an invasion of SmackDown and Raw, or if you make WWE and WCW, you can actually have an invasion. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. The only problem you run into with that sort of thing is the fact that the entire game series is based on an invasion for 6-7 years. They got tired of it. That's why they took it out just a year ago.
Yeah, it was loosely based on it, but I mean an actual one with like the people you've
Yeah.
put on your universe mode. Like, let's say you're the face of the X Pound brand, you could make
You're the
X
face of
Pound
the X-Pound brand.
invade Raw or whatever.
Yeah, that would work.
Or I'd say Marcus or me was probably more the face of the X Pound, but
Fuck you.
The Bumblebee
You're more-
storyline.
you're the Laurinaitis, the X Pound.
Yes.
My name is James Phoenix, and I'm the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations.
Of course, and then the
Exactly.
the logical evolution of that would be create a storyline where you could set up your own, like, your own parameters for the storyline, and then save it, and then you can set that as one of your storylines in universe mode. I think that'd be kind of awesome.
That's what James was on about, because he was on about because there is a creator story in the game right
No,
now.
no, but he was saying create your own promos and insert the promos in. I'm saying, what if you create your own story,
Oh.
your own storyline parameters, feud parameters, or rival parameters that you could then save as a rivalry type, and then apply that to a rivalry in your universe. I think that'd be kind of cool.
That would work.
I will say with the creator story mode, there's a lot of cutscenes in that I want in universe mode.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've seen all of them. I've been through that. They haven't really changed much over the last couple of years. Like there was none new this year, but there's like an element called prop, for example, where you like your character's feuding. It's designed for if you're feuding with Undertaker, and you can open up a casket and he'll be in the casket or something like that, or you throw someone in a casket, or there's one where he comes up out the ground like he did to Shawn Michaels that time and just appears behind them. That would be cool in universe mode. Like if I'm feuding with Undertaker, which I end up doing whenever I inevitably turn heel, it would be cool if he actually came at me with his powers and shit.
That'd be
That would be
cool.
cool.
Although I did any of you interfere in universe mode as Undertaker? Because that was always hilarious.
Oh, where the lights would go out.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Dun, what?
Dun.
Yeah, but with the promos and stuff as well, I think they also need. I hate to say this because we all hate these, but how about quick time events, Richter?
If I can turn them off. No, I'm just...
I don't mean in the matches because I hate how they've added loads of quick time events for matches for various shit like comebacks. But I mean, how about if you got a promo of say like Brutus Clay v Fandango in a dance off, and so it's like a Parada Rapper mini game for the promo to win the dance off.
Dance Dance Revolution, WWE style.
I'm sorry, I think
on a
that'd be kind
roll.
because it would be one of
on a roll.
Connect enabled.
yeah. 'Cause I
Ah.
was thinking it'd be one of those you could skip it if you wanted to, like you mentioned. You may not want one to do it, but stuff like that, or keep pressing the quick time event for like the arm wrestling contests and stuff, so you get some of them in the promo. That kind of be fun.
Mark Henry versus Ryback in a weightlifting contest.
Yep.
You know, unfortunately, I know it's not exactly, it's not a QTE, but you have me thinking of when they, in the Attitude Era, when they did the boxing one, but it's like the camera angles makes it more look like Punch Out, and I'm like, now I want to do that.
Brawl for all.
Yeah.
That'd be
Get
awesome.
Star punches and stuff.
A masterpiece challenge.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
The Rodney Mack White Boy Challenge.
Oh, I just thought something kind of hilarious.
What's that?
You may not like this, but I want to steal something from the Batman Begins game.
Uh-oh.
For characters like Undertaker, I want a fear meter.
I was afraid you were going there.
I want a fear meter. So if you manage to successfully choose to whoever use your powers, and you've successfully scared your opponents, you could start with like a finisher or medi or something. So you scare them shitless to build up your momentum. But I don't know how you'd implement that. If that's not an actual suggestion. That was just something I was thinking of then.
Well, if you're using somebody that's not based on fear, would that cross over to something like if you were playing as, just because we know him, let's say if you were playing as John Cena, would your fear meter go up based on how much you've superseded out of everything to make them afraid of the fact that they can't get anything to last on you?
Like a frustration meter?
That would basically be the thing I would use for Hogan, Austin, and Cena of fan momentum.
I would call it.
If you get the fans cheering you, you can break out of stuff and like take out an army like Austin did, or Hulk up like Hogan did, or Super Cena, everything like Cena does.
I would call it a psychology meter. Your psychological advantage over your opponent.
Yeah. Or if you're playing as Triple H and you manage to successfully be a cerebral assassin, you unlock 20-minute promo.
No, Triple H would not have a psychology meter. He'd have an ego meter.
No, he'd have a God of War style sex mini game with the boss's daughter.
There you go.
There you go.
It has to be post-op stuff.
Well, of course.
If it's gonna be a sex mini game, I want to see boobs.
I don't think it. Oh, I was. Thought you were thinking like when she was younger. I was like, it's not a jailbait storyline. Calm down.
Yeah, but you have to unlock it as a face. If you unlock it as a heel, you get China.
Curse you, Richter. I said, curse you, Richter. I want to make a joke, but I can't.
Why?
It's extremely inappropriate and wrong.
Type it at the bottom.
You win as heel Triple H. Bloop! One Night in China, the video game unlocked.
Yeah, why isn't that? Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be funny. But the other thing you have to have with Triple H, if you're gonna do these kind of things in Triple H, is you have to, like, if you're put into a match into an uppercomer, you have a Barry meter.
Berry meter.
How badly you assault them. It goes up based on how badly you assault them with shit, how many finishers you do, if you put them through tables and shit. And if you max out the berry meter, then they're buried and they don't get pushed for an extended period of time.
Or they go to like one of the other brands.
Or they go to NXT.
Yeah.
Oh, Mole, how awesome would this be? You know how in the review I was talking about the OMG moments with the tag teams and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
What if if you're in a tag team or stable, you have a team meter, and as you build that meter up, you could call out members of your team.
Oh, that would suck for me, as I always gimp my tag team. But I'm always in a big stable too, so.
Well, if you wanted to de-gimp yourself, just reform C squared.
I'm sorry, is that going to be a benefit? I'm kidding, but no, I would put myself in like NWO or something, so I only have them. Or I still remember the year when I started becoming the King of Spades in the game, and I made the Kingdom of Me, and I gave each person a role. Like there was King of Spades me, I made Queen Beth to join me at my side, so I had a female in the group. I then had Prince Drew McIntyre, who was going to be my protege. I had Sir Sheamus and Sir Jack Swagger as my knights to defend me.
Nice.
And that was my stable.
Nice.
And I think I also had William Regal in there. I'm not sure, but I remember it made Crispy laugh because, like, he said, "What? Most of the people in your group are useless." And I was like, "I don't care. They're cannon fodder." They don't need to be They don't need to be useful. They have numbers on their side. But unless Jim or Victor wants to add anything else, I think you may want. I think we've done story and universe.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we've got that covered, generally speaking.
Yep. So next up is any of the created stuff. So and create a move, finisher, storyline, entrance.
Give me
any of
my
that
hair
stuff.
back.
That's what I said.
I was about to say the same thing. I was about to
I
say
know.
you
I just
stole
had,
Victor's
I had to
gimmick.
beat you in there.
Oh,
No, dude, they took
Give
out
me
my
the make a tight-
hairstyle like 5 years ago. Pissed me off. Want my
I know.
hairstyle back. But
I
no, they
know.
need to add more create parts. They need to do that. They need to further expand and not even expand. They do need to expand it, but they need to go back and hire someone with, logic to actually look at the creative move parts and say, okay, what works and what doesn't, because half that shit just logically makes no sense.
Yep.
like what?
Oh, like the fact that if I do a military press into my Shadowfall, logically speaking, off the military press, because I've got him high up, it should spin him from high up and drop him. But no, I have to drop him back down to my shoulders to do it. I'm like, no, that looks retarded.
Yep. Or how about the fact this year round, abilities were broken. Slightly, in my opinion.
Really?
Which ones?
All of them. They used to be weight dependent. Now, as a super heavyweight, I can have fucking bounce off the ropes and shit if I chose to. I can take all of James's abilities.
Oh,
I shouldn't be able to because
Yeah.
unlike Jim, I'm a man size in the game.
Ah,
Yeah, and if you take like a cruiserweight before, you weren't able to take hammer throw because you weren't heavy enough to actually muster that much
let's
strength.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense. And it's like, what?
Can I just ask? And does this mean, Mole, in the future, can you take Rey Mysterio's comeback?
I could take it this year if I wanted to,
That'd be hilarious.
and I will admit,
I meant generally in the future while we're playing this game. Could you do that at some point? Because that would be hilarious to see.
I might do. I'm not sure, but I will admit, when I've had move thief before now in the game, I have stole the 619. Just because
Yeah,
I
I've
shouldn't
done
be able
that.
to do that.
I've done that.
Which is ironic
Did
because
exactly
Marcus.
the
That's ironic because in the aforementioned ladder match in which Marcus was playing as Rey Mysterio in an attempt to see if the ladder running up move still worked, he could barely pull off a 619.
Yeah, you have to aim it at the ropes just right, and they have to land on the ropes when you do it. It can miss, but yeah.
Go ahead.
I was saying when you figure it out and you do it nearer the ropes, and you pull the stick towards the ropes. He does it nearly every time, but it's not like the old ones where you used to hit it and he'd do it automatically. This time you have to aim it and set it up.
Yeah.
Also, I want them to take out the fact um that for move steal you have to steal their taunt first. I'm like, no, that should just be a side effect. You should be allowed to steal the taunt, but it shouldn't be necessary. You should be able to just outright steal their move. Because if you're trying to steal, like, I don't know, Bret Hart sharpshooter, stealing the taunt kind of defeats the purpose of using the sharpshooter because you have to knock him back on his ass before you can do it. I'm like, no, I should be able to just walk up to his legs and fucking do it.
Yeah, it used to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But creative wise, stuff I like, I've mentioned this in the past. I want the ability with either the PlayStation Eye or the Kinect camera, because this has been in like EA's Fight Night and stuff. I want to be able to take a photo of my face and the side of my head and place like the dots, and so it takes a little longer, but it actually puts my face on my wrestler's body. I kind of want that.
That'd be cool.
Something else I wouldn't mind for the create stuff, I would kind of like it if they got the crowd that they get to choose, because obviously some of the crowd chants aren't new crowd chants, they're made up crowd chants and using their crowd engine or whatever it is.
Mhm.
I'd like the ability like you've got with call names, so you can set your own chant, if you will. So if you're winning, if you're like winning and the crowd are for you, you can put this. If they're booing you, they put this. So
Mhm.
I could have something like "Hail the King," "Hail to the King," "Hail to the King." You could have show them the light, show us the light, show us the light, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you should also be able to have one to be able to set a condition, the condition for like, okay, if winning match, face winning match or heel losing match, or triggered by specific taunt, like that where you could do Daniel Bryan's yes, 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 the way he does, but you could set your own type of thing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome too. Like if you've had a special done to you, for example. I hate like for example, let's say I do the WMD to you, Jim, or I RKO you or something. It'd be cool if the crowd then started to chant, "Rise from this, rise from this." Rise from this."
And that would be funny.
And the fact
Or
I could have one.
or they would have tweet, 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 tweet.
I thought they already did that. That's why we got the @ symbol and the hashtags.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. I'm here all
Oh,
week.
Potter.
But yeah, no, I was saying, and if they did it like you mentioned, Jim, they can do it randomly, so it's like percentage of a time it works. It doesn't happen every time. For example,
Yeah.
so let's say I do a finisher to you, it can read either A, the taunt I want them to do when I do a finisher, or B, it can read yours if you get a finisher, so it can balance out and be randomer.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like that.
One thing they need to do before anything is put back everything they took out. Like bring back,
Yes.
create an animation. Bring back, create a video.
Yeah,
Bring back
your
selectable win poses. Bring back all the moves. Well, most of the moves. I mean, some of them were superfluous, so I can understand them taking some of it out. But a lot of them, there's no excuse for that. Bring them back. Bring back all the create parts they took out. Then once they do that, stop taking shit out. God damn it. Just add
You do realize there's finite disk space on these things, right?
huge finite disk space. It's a fucking Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That's
They're gonna
Blu-ray.
be on Blu-ray.
It's all. Well, oh, is Xbox gonna be on Blu-ray now too? Finally.
The X1 is, yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay,
bonus.
fair enough.
Plus DLC.
Yeah, and do real DLC.
Yeah, even the Wii U has 25 gigabyte discs now, so they can have more stuff on it. Yeah, no, I was saying if they have 25 gigabytes, they could have more stuff. I was saying if they'd meant to go do it on the Wii U, but it's like you mentioned with the bring stuff back, or like the creator and stuff. I'd like that, but one thing I've been asking for ages, instead of select the win pose, or maybe select the win pose, I want the one from SmackDown v Raw on Wii, which was kind of horrible, but I want two things brought back from them: thumbtacks under the stairs in Hell in a Cell. That was awesome. I also want, at the end of the matchup, you used to get a choice. You press one button and you do your finisher to the guy again, or you press a button and you do your taunt, press a button and handshaking, press a button and go and do a concerto to him after the matchup. You know what I mean? Something like that. That's kind of fun.
That would tie into the BioWare meter too. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could tie into
And
that
then,
too.
of
Which
course,
is
your other
awesome.
option is you press a button and you do your selected win pose.
Yeah, and yeah, I mentioned that one of the buttons was do the win pose. That's why I said yeah, I could also see bringing them back. But it's like on the Wii one they had that option, and like they also did the dickish thing of they had two buttons. One was handshake, then betrayal, which was awesome. Which I like that because that's kind of cool. Like imagine in the like universe mode or normal matchup or something, you've had like an epic feud with someone or an epic matchup at WrestleMania. It's over. It was a really close match. It would be cool, even if you're a heel or a face, to just go, okay, fair enough, and stick your hand out, because those moments in WWE when that happens are usually big moments.
Mhm.
One feature I'd like to see, and it might actually get me to, because I don't recall if PS4 has this ability, but it would get me to probably get like an Xbone with Kinect, is you have a feature where you press a button and it goes into like Kinect taunt mode, where it reads you, and so like I would stand up and I'd press the button, and then the Kinect would read me, and then I'd be able to do a taunt, just anything, and that the character on the screen would basically it'd be like mocapping, it would follow my motion. I think that'd be awesome. So instead of using a preset taunt, you could just randomly do something in the middle of the match, and that's your taunt.
That would be awesome. Although I know people would abuse that like Moon and shit.
They did have a moon taunt back in the day.
They did.
The thing is that the character would do it, but the character wouldn't like pull his pants down or anything. It would just do the motion.
Yeah. But which I'd like that. Like I've mentioned in the past, I kind of wanted with because I know PlayStation Eye's meant to be able to read you a bit more, and I know it's also got the voice recognition like the Xbox One does. I'd like to be able to use voice for some stuff too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be cool. I'd also like to point out, related to the moon taunt, of course, ahead of the game previously, that was the basis of Rikishi's entire gimmick.
I don't even think he had that taunt though, did he?
No, because he didn't used to drop his pants because he was always wearing the
Yes.
thong.
The
Yeah, he
sumo
was always
diaper,
wearing the
yeah.
sumo. Yeah, but yeah, the audio thing sounds kind of cool too, where that you could use that then to create your own like chants of stuff, or
Your own announce.
your own announcer, or
The only
again,
downside to that would be reading it online.
Caballero, Chriz the Mole.
it would basically be like you on voice in a multiplayer game. It would just stream it. It wouldn't be that hard. But I was
Yeah, but
thinking,
I meant it would have to save it and then
Yeah.
stream it, which they don't like to do that.
yeah, or like I was thinking, going along with my motion control taunt thing. What if you have a button that initiates superstar voice mode, where you press like basically press a talk, you press and hold it, and it'll read your voice. Like if I'm doing a taunt, I can actually press the button and go suck it, and people over the online game would actually hear it. Like if I'm facing Jim, all of a sudden out of Jim's speakers, he'd hear "suck it" as I'm doing the "suck it" taunt or something. I think that'd be awesome.
Well, you
does
can't be
anyway.
on headset during the match the whole time. I mean, that exists.
Yeah, he does anyway. Whenever you're on Skype, you always yell that.
I know. I was
Like
just
when you
giving that
used to be
example.
surprised, I used to dodge the rider kick when you used to go 1, 2, 3, and then do the finisher. Then you were surprised I knew when to time it.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, his AI is better this year. It won't happen.
yeah, but like I mentioned in the past as well, I want to. If obviously they may make the game on Wii U in the future, if they do with the Wii U and PS4, and I believe Xbox can do this with the Smart Glass possibly, but I want the ability to use the touch screen on the Wii U to actually be able to draw your custom logo with the stylus.
That'd be awesome.
So you don't have to use that annoying fucking paint tool, which is worse than Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
It's literally harder to use than Microsoft Paint, and stupider too. Like, okay, they added WWE and designs and stuff that you can use, but you can't color them. You have to then go to fill and paint it, but it doesn't paint all of it. No, you then have to then draw over them with the pencils. So you might as well just fucking done it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
God, that logo's annoying.
Yep. Actually, you know what I'd like, since they're going more with the touchscreen stuff across the board. I'd love, instead of the current menu system they have for create a superstar, I want where all it gives you is on the touchscreen your superstar, and you click on your superstar what you want to edit, and a little thing pops up that says, add, replace, edit, and then you do it that way. So instead of going into layers, you always have the layers available because you just click on it.
Yep. It's like with if they went with the touch stuff with the with the Wii U, I could just see the screen being so beneficial. Like, imagine if you're playing an Extreme Rules match and you can have a lot more weapons because the whole screen's like an inventory tray.
Yeah.
There you go.
That would just totally work. But I'll get more into that probably during MISC.
hmm
Misc.
I think we've covered create stuff. I think we're pretty much going into MISC now because there's some things I'd like to say about touchscreening.
All right.
Well,
Really? You didn't want to mention advanced create a tag? Really?
Oh yeah, create a tag entrance. More entrance stuff. Create a tag entrance. Yes, we need to be able to. And also, okay, they promoted the hell out of being able to select who comes out in which part of the tag, and then they fucking lied. Seriously, the way they presented it, I think it was a bull-faced lie. I'm like, no, I want that independent of where you place them in the member list, especially if they're going to continue forcing you to have the first two people on that list be the official tag team of the stable. Ideally, I would say also have that independent and allow you to select which two members of that stable is your tag team, so you can constantly shift who the actual tag team is. I think that would be a lot better.
Yep. It's like an idea that's just come into my head from nowhere. I really wish someone else here would have thought of this, but how about being able to select creator wrestlers to assign them as managers?
Yes, we need create a manager. That'd be awesome.
And I was kidding, as that was Marcus's idea.
Yes, it was, and I approve of it. I would like. I think that'd be kind of cool to create your own manager.
I'd be shocked if you didn't approve of your idea. But
but yeah,
did anyone else have anything else to add?
no, most of the stuff that I wanted for creative was pretty much already touched upon. Is A, never take stuff out. B, only add. I know they should be the same, but I want to reiterate that point twice. And yeah,
Well,
bring back what?
Oh, I said, well, except for maybe moves and taunts and logos of wrestlers no longer under contract, because that I can understand.
Then just rename it. It's parody. I don't know.
Yeah, but
But and like yeah, like the create animation, I like barely got to use it because I didn't actually own that one. It wasn't until years later, and I was like, where Marcus showed it to me, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. Why'd they take it out? He's like, I don't know. But yeah, bring that back. And for years, I wanted to create an entrance movie, and then they had it, and then they had it the next year, and then they took it out. Fuckers, put that shit back.
if you want to be
Yeah.
technical, they had it, they took it out, then years later they brought it back, and people ate that shit up as if it was new, because that was in Raw.
Oh, the Xbox one.
Yeah,
And then
that,
they took it out.
that was in one of the Xbox guns on one of the Raw games.
Gotcha. I I had too much taste to play that one. So
Hey, that game actually had some awesome features. I wish were in the games now. Like, you could interfere during entrances. Like, if someone's coming down to ring, you press a button and you could jump them and stuff if you chose to. Admittedly, it was too exploitive because you just put yourself a second and then always did it. But they also had something which hasn't been in games for years. You used to be able to leave the Royal Rumble on the WrestleMania one because you'd slide under the ropes and you could get weapons and shit and play around and do actual Royal Rumble shit.
Nice.
and
It had
hopefully
a lot
they'll
it was
have it like
bad.
the dream. Yeah.
Sorry, I said it was bad, but it had some good features. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Why did the Dreamcast one also? Because that one wasn't that great, but it had like 9 people in the ring at once, and they still haven't emulated that.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, they need to increase the amount of people that you can have in the ring at the same time, and then by extension, increase the amount of people you can put in a stable.
Do you mean, Richter, the
Mhm.
Dreamcast game called Royal Rumble, which had less than 30 people, so they kept repeating people in the Rumble?
Yeah, but you could have 9 in the ring at once.
I
which
agree.
Was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was like the best feature of that game.
Like I said,
But
the game was pretty good. It was just that seemed a little redundant.
Yeah.
If your main
Yeah, but-
mode's Royal Rumble, make it accurate.
And the question is, did those 9 include 3 of the same dude? On a related note, speaking of things for other games that should be in future games that they didn't include, Mole, did you want to address what was it? Oh, I forgot the name of it now. Did you want to address the
Cohesive thoughts, please.
I know that manager system you liked. What was it was it in All Stars or was it Legends of WrestleMania? Which game was that?
Legend of WrestleMania, the manager's system where you got to be like, if you press the button, like Bobby the Brain Heenan would lift your foot up and put it on the rope for you, or Mr. Fuji'd throw salt in, Paul Bear would raise up the urn and you'd sit up. That was cool.
And they should put that back in the game too.
Yeah, basically the bottom line is, Ukes, if you're listening, more immersiveness. We're not immersed enough into the experience.
There you go. So next we will touch upon any online features that anyone would like to see.
Fix the AI.
King of the Ring.
Yes, add tournaments to online. That'd be awesome. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I didn't have many faults with the online this year, to be honest.
Since no one's saying it, I want an ability which was in a previous game and taken out as well. When we create a championship belt, I want to be able to defend it online, so we could actually have, like, say, like if I wanted to and I could be bothered to go through and do this for everyone, I could spend hours or whatever making an X Pound title, and then defend it online against all of you, so we could have the X Pound champion.
You know, they had that ability back before online was a thing, and I don't know if you remember that, Mole, but
we had the ability to play online before online was a thing.
No,
the Get ability, out of here, you crazy little man.
The ability to defend a custom title online.
It did.
And not only would you be able to defend it online, but if someone won it from you, they would acquire your title. You would no longer have it.
Yep, that's why I said they took it out and it needs to come back.
Yep. I agree.
The one thing I'd like for online that no one is going to agree with, but I don't care, is fucking no online trophies or achievements. Screw that. You play it because you want to.
I would agree. I would agree with that, but I would also add no offline trophies and achievements either. You know my feelings with them.
Yes, I know.
That ain't never gonna happen.
The online ones, because the online ones even more. I'd agree more with the online ones because the online ones encourage people like currently win 10 online ranked matches. It encourage people to spam and shit and cheat
or
and
boost. Like they're just even if you no matter how you feel about achievements, the online ones are like even worse because people just boost them or just rage quit and anything to keep it, and it's annoying.
Well, there are people boosting for non-achievements as well, because I've noticed in the leaderboard there's someone with over 1 million fucking wins. Crispy noticed that, and I was like, what? And I looked, and I was like, yeah. There's no, and he didn't, and there's no way he boosted with 1 million fucking matches. There's no way with the time it was, because only a couple of days, like a handful when the game came out here, like 3 days after that. There had to be some sort of exploit they figured out that gave him multiple wins for one thing or something.
Well, yeah, that one could be like either the other person's quitting or something, so they do it in a fraction of time, or there's an actual exploit that has nothing to do with boosting. It could be just something really stupid. Like if it disconnects, it gives you like fucking 50,000 wins.
Yeah, so they'll get like them and their friends going against each other and unplugging their Ethernet cable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. On a related note, we're going to go to next your turn. Marcus, removal of disconnect penalty. Go.
Is there still a disconnect penalty this year?
There should be.
See, I don't mind the disconnect penalty. The problem I had with it is people can abuse the shit out of it, which I don't like. I agree that there needs to be something in place to keep people from just rage quitting, but at the same time, it needs to be in such a way that it doesn't penalize people for legitimately rage quitting, if that makes sense. No? Doesn't make sense to anyone?
No, I get you. I just don't know how.
I understand. Yeah. I understand what you were saying, but I think we had this conversation last one. I'm going into a big debate about it because I perfectly accepted with how it is right now, but so I would be nice and being quiet so I didn't have the argument again.
Right, and that's why I don't really like playing ranked matches, because it's fucking broken, because you're just gonna have people who's gonna exploit no matter what. And I think part of the thing is you just needs to accept the fact that there's no way you're gonna stop people from exploiting and cheating. There's just no way. And if you keep trying to do it, you're going to basically punish those who are legitimate players, which I don't agree with.
Yep. Or something else I wouldn't mind possibly for online. You have it in other games, so I don't see the reason for this one. How about party system for the ranked matches? So like I could go in a party with Marcus.
Yes.
Therefore, we're not going to go against each other, but me and him can appear as a tag team because we can't boost for a team.
Yep. This is true. I approve of that.
Yeah, other
that
games have that. They should do that.
that would have been nice starting last year when they completely fucked over the the ranked match lobby.
Yep.
Because it's
Which
like, oh, now I can't play ranked matches with Jim. Well, this sucks.
unless you do what I did.
Yeah, unless we do
Yeah,
what you
which
did.
we did.
Which we did, but it's a pain in the ass. But no, I approve. That's a good idea, Mole.
All right, so I guess that's it for online, unless anyone has anything else to add. No, all
I
right.
think we're good.
Next, we will go on to gameplay.
We've been talking about that the whole night. Next.
Okay, next then is miscellaneous.
Oh.
Oh.
I was gonna say gameplay wise, I was leaving it for gameplay. I want the old reversal system back.
Boo.
I've mentioned
Yeah, I
that in the past. I want the challenging reversal system where you have to press one button for one type of reversal, one for another. Because it's like RPGs or any other type of game where one button's a shield, one's a sword. I don't want one button that does everything. That's kind of stupid. I want special guest referees that actually do something besides just being a referee.
That's
If
what
it's
I
an
was going to
AI.
mention for online. Specifically for online, I want that the referee AI to actually do something other than ref.
Yeah,
Like,
but
if I
that's the
choose
same
Shawn
offline.
Michaels, I should be scared that he's going to kick my head off for no reason whatsoever.
That's the same offline too, though.
True.
And technically you are, because it gives the ref a finisher and he can use it on you at any time he wants.
Yeah,
but I'm not
he
afraid of
doesn't.
it, because I know the computer will never ever use it, because it's
Yeah,
just a ref.
The computer doesn't do that. It's like, do you remember the matchup we had with when I used my Shawn Michaels in the referee attire for a triple threat Hell in a Cell? And the way I stopped Marcus tapping you out was to beat up the ref instead of breaking up the fall, so he still did damage to you. So
Yes.
so it was best of everything. I'm sorry, afterwards, the second like Marcus put me in a submission move or something, Shawn Michaels should have done the ring the bell screw job thing and gave Marcus a point or switch him music me or something, but no, he just happily smiled back. That's kind of broken. I don't like that. I
Well,
don't like.
well, that's because it's just really hard to piss off all HB shits.
To be continued.